Hey everybody, welcome back. We are finishing up section 2.3 today. We have about 26 problems. So let's start. So the first problem, find the difference. 1 through 6. Zoom in here. So -9 minus 3. So when we have two minuses, that equals to plus. So this becomes -9 plus 3. 9 is greater than 3, so the sign is minus, and 9 minus 3 is 6, so minus 6. Number 2, 17 minus 21. So that's going to be 21 is greater than 17, so it's going to be minus, and 21 minus 17 is 4, so minus 4. 3 is 23 minus 7 is plus 7, or that is equal to 30. Okay. Number 4, we have we're adding up two negative numbers, so this is 2 and 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, and then we have 6.5 because 0.8 plus 0.7 is 1.5, so 5 plus 1.5 is 6.5, and then the sign is minus, so minus 6.5. Number 5, we have 11, then minus 15 is plus 15, then minus 7. Let's add up these two numbers first. They're two positive numbers, so this is 26. 26 minus 7 equals to 19. Okay. Number 6, we have minus 7, minus 6, minus 9 is plus 9. Minus 7 and minus 6 is minus 13. Then plus 9 is minus 4. Okay. Now, next is going to be number 7, 8, and 9. So 7, we have x plus y minus 7. We have to evaluate the expression, and x and y are given. So x is minus 5, then plus y is 3, minus 7. So let's add up the two negative numbers. So minus 5 and minus 7, that's minus 12. And then plus 3, or that is 12 is greater than 3, so minus, and then 12 minus 3 is 9, so minus 9 is the answer. Number 8, 9 minus y is 3 minus x is minus 5, so this becomes 9 minus 3 minus 5 is plus 5, and this is if you do 9 minus 3 first, so that is 6. And then plus 5, this is 11. Okay. Number 9, we have x, which is minus 5, and then minus. In parentheses, we have 5 minus y is 3. Or this is minus 5, and then minus 5 minus 3 is 2. Or this is minus 5 and minus 2 is minus 7. We're adding up two negative numbers. Yeah, that was number 9. And do we have more problems? Let's see. I'm going to scroll down. Okay, next is 10 through 13. Find the change in temperature. Okay, so from 12 Fahrenheit to minus 2 Fahrenheit. And what we do here is we basically, this is right here, this is the formula we have to use. We have to find the change, and the change in value is the closing value minus the opening value. So this is the closing value, this is the opening value. So closing value minus 2, and then minus opening value, which is 12, or this is minus 14 Fahrenheit. Number 11, we have closing value, which is 21, minus opening value, which is minus 8. So this is 21 minus 8 is plus 8, or this is 29. Number 12, we have closing value 43 minus opening value 57. 57 is greater than 43, so this is going to be minus 57 minus 43 is 14. So minus 14 Fahrenheit. And number 13, we have the closing value of minus 15 Celsius, and then minus 11, or this is minus 15, minus 11 is plus 11, or this is minus 4 Celsius. Okay, and that was, I believe, all for review for mastery. And next we have some mixed problem solving. There are, I think, only 6 or so problems. Yep, 6. All right. So let's do the first one, multi-step problem. The table shows the daily profits for a week for a store. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These are the profits for each day of the week. Under A, order the profits from least to greatest. Least, so we have negative numbers, so we have to see which one is the greatest negative number. So that one is Saturday, minus 50. So minus 50 is first, and this is all dollars. And then it's another negative, minus 30. And then minus 15. This is just like if you have a number line, you start from the negative and you're listing the numbers all the way to the positive numbers. So minus 50 is all the way here, so that one gets listed first, and then minus 30, and then minus 15, and then we don't have any other negative numbers. Then what's the smallest positive number? That's 10. So 10, then it's 25. So 10, 25, and then we have 35, and then 40. Right? All these are dollars. So that's the order of the profits from least to greatest. That's A. B, how much money did the store gain or lose during the week? So here we have to add up these numbers here. So we have to add up. We can add up first the negative numbers. So minus 30, minus 15, and minus 50. That's minus 0 plus 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 5 is 9. So minus 95 is what they lost. And then let's add up the positive numbers. We have 40. We have 25. We have 10. And we have 35. So we have 5 plus 5 is 10, 0 and 1. 4 and 2, 6, and 1, 7, and 3, 10, and 1, 11. So 110, $110 profit and $95 lost. So 110 minus 95 is $15 gain. So they gained $15 because 110 profit minus 95 they lost. That's $15. That's B. Number 2, short response. The change in value of a stock for 5 days was minus 35 cents, minus 60 cents, plus 45 cents, plus $1.15, minus 25 cents. The stock ended with a price of $18.75 after the 5th day. Okay, so here we have the change, right, equals the closing value minus opening value. So that's the closing value here, 1875. So we have that. The change, we have that. We just have to add up these numbers. We have to find the opening, right? This is we have to find the opening stock price. So the opening stock price would be, so this is negative here. If this goes on the other side of the equal sign, so the opening equals closing, and change is positive, on the other side will be negative, so minus change. Okay, so this is the formula how to compute the opening stock price. Is the closing, which is 1875, minus the changes in the price. So we have to add up these changes. So let's add up first the negative numbers. So we have minus 0.35, minus 0.60, and minus 0.25, 5 and 5, 10, 0 and 1, 6 and 3, 9 and 1, 10, 2, 12. So negative $1.20. And then let's set up the positive numbers. We have 45 cents, 0.45 cents. We have $1.15. That's all. 5 and 5, 10, 0 and 1, 4, 5, 6, 1. $1.60 minus $1.20 is 40 cents, 0.4, or 40 cents is the change. So that's the change. So the opening stock price would be the closing stock price, which is 18.75. So this would be 18.75 minus the change, which is 0.4. And how did we get that? We got that by adding up the positive changes, which was 1.6, minus the negative changes, which were 1.2. Okay, that's how we got 0.4. So 18.75 minus 0.4, the opening price would be 18.35. $18.35. That's number 2. Number 3, short response. The table below lists the elevations from sea level of 5 locations in the United States. So we have these locations. Order the locations by elevation from lowest to highest. So lowest would be minus 282, which is the Death Valley, California. So that's number 1. Then it's the Driscoll Mountain, 535. Then it's Jeremoth Hill, Rhode Island. Then it's Timms Hill, right? This comes first because this is 1,900. Then it's going to be 3,000. This was going to be number 5, Mount Davis, Pennsylvania. That's how you order the locations, by elevation from lowest to highest. Okay, lowest to highest. B, which elevation is closest to sea level? So if you have if you draw the x horizontal axis, that's the sea level, 0 sea level, minus 282 feet would be somewhere here. Then 535 feet would be somewhere there. Now what we have to do is we have to take the absolute values. Just basically disregard the signs, negative or positive signs. Just disregard the signs. You have to find basically the lowest number, which in this case would be this number here, 282. So Death Valley, California would be the closest to sea level. Okay, so that's the answer for B. We just have to take the absolute value, the smallest, the lowest absolute value of these numbers. That's B. And that's number 3. Number 4, the temperature at 6 a.m. was 38 Fahrenheit. The high temperature for the day was 16 Fahrenheit more than the temperature at 6. So what was the high temperature of the day? So that is just basically 38 plus 16. Or that is 30, 40, 54. 54 Fahrenheit is the highest, because the highest was 16 Fahrenheit more than the temperature at 6 a.m., which was 38 Fahrenheit. Number 5, extended response in golf. Par is the expected number of strokes needed to hit a ball into the hole. Your score on a hole is the number of strokes above or below par. The player with the lowest score wins. The table gives the scores so far for 2 players, Jeff and Matt, for 9 holes of golf. Okay, let's see, 9. Yep, we have 9 holes. We have the par values given. So par, 4 hits to make the golf ball, to put the golf ball into the hole. So Jeff is better in the first hole. He's doing -1, so he's actually he used 3 hits to put the ball in the hole. So Jeff is better than Matt. Matt used 5 +1, so 5 hits to put the ball in the hole. That's for the first hole, and so on. So let's see the questions. What is each player's total score after 7 holes? So right here we have to see who is better, right, so far. So we have to just add up these numbers here for Jeff and for Matt. So for Jeff, we have -1, -1, +1, -1. So these two will cancel out. We just have -1 and -1, which is -2. So Jeff at this point is -2. How about Matt? Well, we have +1 and -1 cancel out, -1 and +1 cancel out, so he's at 0. He's at par so far. Okay. So what is each player's total score after 7 holes? Jeff, -2, Matt, 0. That's A. B, Jeff scores +1 on the 8th hole. So Jeff on the 8th hole scores +1. And for the score to be tied after the 8th hole, so right here, for the score to be tied, what score does Matt need? So Jeff was -2 after 7. After 8, he would be -1 because he's +1 at hole number 8. -2 +1 is -1 here. So for Matt to be -1 here, he has to, from 0, we have to add -1 to 0 to get to -1. So he's saying for the score to be tied after the 8th hole, what score does Matt need? So Matt needs -1. Okay. And C, the game is tied after the 8th hole. Yep. Both players usually take one more stroke on the 9th hole than on the 8th hole. Predict who will win the game. Okay. Okay, so both players usually take one more stroke on the 9th hole than on the 8th hole. So Jeff is +1 on the 8th hole. So he would be +1, +2. Okay, so basically what it says is both players usually take one more stroke on the 9th hole than on the 8th hole. That means that they are the same. Their score is going to be the same on the 8th hole as on the 9th hole, since Matt is better. Since Matt is better on the 8th hole, you see he's -1. He's below par. Jeff is above par. So that means that Matt is going to win because they're tied at after 8th hole. They're tied after 9th hole. Matt is going to win because Matt is -1 on the 8th hole. He's going to be -1 here. Jeff is going to be +1. So basically, at the end of hole 9, Matt is going to be -2, and here Jeff is going to be 0. So Matt wins. Okay. Number 6, open-ended. Write and solve a real problem, a real-world problem that can be solved using the expression 85 minus 38 plus 17. Okay, we can say we got paid $85 this week. Our expenses were $38. We had $17 to begin with. How many? What's the dollar amount we end up with? Okay, So that's number 6. And we have 7 problems. These are the challenge practice problems. Decide whether the statement is always true, sometimes true, or never true for any non-zero integers a and b. So we know that integers start from negative infinity all the way to -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, to positive infinity. Now a and b are non-zero integers, so non-zero integers. So a and b can be any of these numbers except 0. And then we have to say if these statements are always true, sometimes true, or never true. Okay. So let's try some numbers. So let's say a equals 1, b equals 1. If that's the case, then absolute value of 1 is 1 plus absolute value of 1 is 1 minus a is 1 minus b is 1 equals 0. Yes, these two cancel out, these two cancel out, so 0 equals 0. So this is yes, but let's try let's try one of these as negative number. So let's try a equals -1, b equals 1. So in this case, absolute value of -1 is 1 plus absolute value of 1 is 1, then minus, now a is -1 minus b. So you can see right away that this is not going to be 0. So 1 and -1 cancel out, but here we have 1 minus -1 is +1. So this is 2 equals 0. This is not true. So we say sometimes this is true, because in this case, when a equals 1, b equals 1, this was true. However, when a equals -1, b equals 1, this is not true. So this is sometimes true. Sometimes true is the answer for 1. Okay, that was 1. Number 2. Let's try the same numbers. Let's try a1, b is 1. So here we have a plus b, 1 plus 1, that's 2. Absolute value of 2 is 2. Then we have less or equal to. Absolute value of 1 is 1 plus absolute value of b of 1 is 1. So 2 is less or equal to 2. Yes, this is true. Let's try a is -1, b is 1. Then we have -1 plus 1, that's 0. Absolute value of 0 is 0. And then we have less or equal to. Absolute value of -1 is 1 plus absolute value of 1 is 1. So 0 is less or equal to 2. Yes, this is true as well. So this is always true. So this is always true. Number 3. Let's try again. Same numbers. A equals 1, b equals 1. Absolute value of a, which is 1, so 1, and then absolute value of b, which is 1, so that's 1, minus a to the power of b, so 1 to the power 1 equals 0. 1 minus 1 is 0, so this is 0 equals 0, so yes, this is correct. Let's try -1, a minus 1, and b equals 1. So absolute value of -1 is 1, b is 1, so 1 to the 1 power, minus, now a is -1, so -1 to the power of b, which is 1, equals 0. This is 1 -1 to the 1 power is -1, so -1 is +1. So 2 equals 0 is not true. So sometimes true. So because when a equals 1, b equals 1, this was true. So we say sometimes this is true. This was number 3. Number 4. Let's try again. Same numbers. A equals 1, b equals 1. We have absolute value of a, which is 1, plus absolute value of b, which is 1. less than or equal to absolute value of a plus b, 1 plus 1 is 2. So absolute value of 2 is 2. So 2 is less or equal to 2. Yes, this is true. Now let's try a equals minus 1, b equals 1. Absolute value of minus 1 is 1, plus absolute value of 1 is 1, less than or equal to a plus b. Minus 1 plus 1 is 0. Absolute value of 0 is 0. This is not true because 2 is not less or equal to 0. So we say sometimes true. Sometimes true. This was number 4. Number 5. Let's try the same numbers again. A is 1, b is 1. 1 to the 1 power, that's 1. Absolute value of that is 1 minus absolute value of 1 is 1. B is 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0, 0 equals 0. So yes, this is true. Let's try. We have a to the power of b here. So let's try some other numbers than 1 and 1 because we have to the power. And let's try one negative number. So let's try a is 2 and b is negative 3, let's say. So we're looking at number 5 here, okay? So if a is 2, we have 2 to the minus 3, absolute value of that, then minus, we have absolute value of 2, and then absolute value of minus 3 equals 0. So 2 to the minus 3 is 1 over 2 to the 3, or that's 1 over 8. Absolute value of 1 over 8 is 1 over 8 minus absolute value of minus 3 is 3, absolute value of 2 is 2, 2 to the third is 8. So this is minus 8 equals 0. This is not true. So this is not true. So we say this is sometimes true. Sometimes true. Okay, so this was number 5. Let's do number 6. Let's do number 6 right here. Let's try a is 1 and b is 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So we get 0 here. And then 1 minus 1 here, 0 again. So, okay. How about a is negative 1, b is 1. So then we get minus 1 minus 1. And so that's, we get minus 1 and minus 1 equals a is minus 1 minus 1. So minus 1 is minus 2. This is 2 equals 1. Minus 1's absolute value is 1 minus 1. 2 equals 0. This is not true. So this is sometimes true. And number 7, last one. Let's try a1, b is 1. 1 squared is 1 plus absolute value of 1. Absolute value of 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 2 times 2 is 4, right? So 1, 2, 3. This is 3 is less than 4. This is true. And let's try a equals minus 1, b equals 1. So a squared, so if a is minus 1 squared plus absolute value of minus 1 times absolute value of 1 plus 1 squared less than a plus b. So minus 1 plus 1 is, they cancel out, so 0. 0 squared is 0. So minus 1 squared, that's minus 1 times minus 1, or that's just 1, plus Minus 1, absolute value of minus 1 is 1. Absolute value of 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Plus 1 squared is 1, because that's 1 times 1. And this is 3 is less than 0? No. But we got 1, yes, so this is sometimes true. Okay. So that was all for today. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.